Hey everyone, it's Elliot Grant here. I'm the studio founder and game director at Lunark, and on behalf of everyone in our team and our collaborators at Behavior Interactive, we're excited to present to you the deepest look yet at Islands of Insight, our epic shared open-world puzzle game, where you'll explore breathtaking landscapes, solve thousands of puzzles crafted by some of the best minds in puzzle design, and unveil the secrets of the islands. Alright, so let's jump straight into it. This is the first zone of the game. We call it the Verdant Glen. And you'll notice a few things. You'll notice this epic, ancient architecture, perhaps situated in an unusual configuration. You'll notice lots of mysterious puzzle objects around. And of course, the beautiful, vibrant, biodiverse foliage, which perhaps curiously doesn't match the style of architecture that you would normally associate with this. And as you walk along, you'll notice tons and tons of different objects you can interact with. You see there's a little shimmer in the distance there. That is one of our hidden object puzzles, the hidden ring, that you can jump through. Let's see what else we can find. You might notice these interesting looking stripes on the ground. They're a little bit curious. It turns out, if you find the right place to stand, they line up and form a symbol. And of course, that's one of our puzzles, the leitmotif. One of the many types of hidden objects and curious findings you can stumble upon in the open world. One of the things we wanted to do in this world when we were building it was create this sort of awe-inspiring, sublime feeling of a mysterious world full of puzzles. And we wanted to give that vibe of, that kind of making your heart quake, catch in your throat, feeling of like, what is this? This is something bigger or more deeper than I expected. We use the sublime a lot in our environment design. We have a very vertical landscape. We have tall cliffs. We have epic structures. And of course, you can experience it without any of the fear that you would normally have looking over a cliff, because you're in total safety. There's no fall damage. You can go wherever you want. You can run and jump and sprint and double jump around everything. There are a lot of puzzles in this world. They say with open world games, you should find something interesting every 10 or 15 seconds. In Islands of Insight, it really is more like every 2 seconds. There are puzzles everywhere. This area is actually the first of 5 biomes or regions that you will find in the game. Each one sort of has its own theme and introduces new puzzle types to you. There are in fact over 10,000 puzzles across the 5 zones, plus another 5,000 or so hidden objects to find. There is really a ton of stuff for you to discover. There are a total of 24 puzzle types across 6 different puzzle categories. This is one that we call the fractal match. You have to grab this fractal and drag it around until it matches the shape of the thing you're seeing on the right. Like, we don't want our puzzles only to be sort of head-scratching logic things. We want them to be fun toys of beauty that you can interact with and play with and enjoy. One of our core pillars is just the variety. Here we have a puzzle that you call the Sentinel Stones. You notice they light up when you look at them. Your goal is to find a place to stand where you can see all of them. And it sounds simple. Sometimes you think you've got it, and then you realize, oh, I'm missing one. There's one over there. I think it's here. Yeah, this has to be it. And boom, there it is. So, trickier than it looks, the Sentinel Stones. We don't want to just spoon-feed difficulty to players. We want every puzzle in the game to have that little delightful spark of eureka, something interesting that it shows you, a bit of cleverness communicated to you by the constructor of that puzzle. One of the things our puzzle team tried to do when they built the content for Islands of Insight was to make puzzles that are not just difficult, but each have some kind of interesting thing that they could teach you as a player. They have these little insights, these little eureka moments that you can discover as you're working on the puzzle. You never have to solve these puzzles with guessing. There's always a logical solution. The open world of Islands of Insight is really designed so that you can go where you want, explore at your own pace. If a puzzle looks a little intimidating, you can just leave it alone. You can come back to it later or not. There are thousands of other puzzles to discover. So here we have the mastery screen, where it shows my progress in leveling up each of the 24 puzzle types. Each time you complete a puzzle, you'll advance your mastery of that puzzle type. And on this screen, you can see all my different levels of the various puzzle masteries. The masteries also contribute to my global player level, and as that increases, I can earn a variety of different cosmetics and sparks. The levels also unlock upgrades, which can be purchased using those sparks. And upgrades in a puzzle game, you might say, what are those? Well, there's a few different types. There are some that provide additional movement options to you as a player, some that unlock tools for advanced puzzle solvers, and some that add additional challenges to puzzle types, providing extra rewards if you solve the puzzle in a unique way. This is a particularly interesting upgrade, the charged jump, and I'm going to grab this one now. You see it lets me hold space for a few seconds to jump really high. In addition to jumping and double jumping, you can also pull out your wings and glide, which is great for getting a new vantage point at things, exploring, solving some puzzles, and just moving around and enjoying the vibe. The puzzles in this open world, they refresh about once a day at different times for different puzzles, but at the same time for everybody, so that you and a streamer you're watching or a friend you're playing with can all experience the same world at the same time. And if you miss a puzzle because it despawned, don't worry, it will be back in due time. You'll notice these floating islands sitting outside of the main open world of the game. Those we call enclaves, and they are specially curated sections of unique puzzles that are built to either teach a new puzzle type or teach a new puzzle mechanic, or sometimes just to show off something very clever. The enclaves form a major part of the game's single-player campaign, and you will need to complete quite a few of them in order to awaken all of the different puzzle types in the game. So here we are in the Empyrean Journey, which is the first enclave of the game. You'll see in the upper right hand corner that in addition to the main objectives, I also have several optional bonus objectives, and I can complete those, for example, by solving one more of these Armillary Rings puzzles to earn a Mirabilis, which is the form of progression in the campaign. The Mirabilis is sort of this fractal thread of energy that forms the universe that we live in, and by collecting these you will awaken additional zones, enter their enclaves, and maybe even gain access to some secret ultra difficult endgame enclaves. Now that I've collected that Mirabilis, I have enough for my next objective in the game, which is to head to the second zone, which we call Lucent Waters. The theme is of course Greco-Roman architecture, but it also uses a biome that is inspired by the Caño Cristalis area of Colombia in South America, with these beautiful, colorful seaweeds. And I'm going to head up to my next quest, which is to enter the Haven of Insight. This is an area that we call the Haven of Insight. It's sort of one of the central zones of the game, right? It's sort of the lobby or hub area of the game. And in the middle we see the Great Pearl, and my next objective is to interact with it. And when I do that, I will awaken the second zone of the game, which will add it to my map and populate the map with a number of different objectives and quests for me to do. If I zoom into the map, I can sort of see what all the different stuff is. Each of these pips is a Mirabilis that I can earn by completing an objective of one of those quests. Up top here, you'll see my progression in the zone, and if I expand it, you'll actually be able to see each Mirabilis that I could earn alongside my puzzle collection, which tracks the individual puzzles that I can collect in each of the zones. The Great Pearls also enable fast travel, so I can teleport to one of the Great Pearls if I want to move there. You'll see my next quest is located here, here, and here. These are the three main enclaves of the Lucent Waters area, and I need to go there next. And I can maybe pick this one that I want to go to and put a map marker there. If I leave the map, then I will see that map marker as a giant beacon of light, which will guide me to my next destination. Another thing you'll find next to the Great Pearl is this, the Effigy of the Ancient One. You interact with this, you'll find the luminous quests. which are sort of additional bonus experiences that you can accept, which will award sparks to you for completing them. And let's see what else we can find. That is a matchbox. I love those. We saw one earlier. There's the partner. Can I find a spot to see both of them? Not from there. It might be up here. And oh, there we go. Boom. This puzzle here, this is what we call an unawakened puzzle. This is a puzzle that is using some kind of rule of the game that I haven't discovered yet. So I need to head to the enclave that awakens this puzzle in order to be able to complete it. Ooh, there's a hidden archway. Now I'm heading into the third zone of the game, the Autumn Falls area, which is a completely different biome. As you venture into the late game zones, you will notice more and more types of unawakened puzzles. Of course, the invitation is there for you to go and play the enclaves that will awaken them, so that you can solve them in the open world. The story of the land in this game is that it was created from the memories of another world, in this case our world. And so it allowed us to take inspiration from lots of different areas on the planet to create sort of new and unique zones that don't normally exist in video games. This area is inspired by the Canadian Niagara Escarpment, but also Chinese hanging temples. And we got this idea because we were working with people from those two parts of the world in building this zone. The story of the game allows us to be very creative in the types of architecture and landscape that we combine together when building the environments. As you're exploring the islands, you will find other players. This is my friend here. And this matchbox right here, I cannot find its partner. So I'm going to ping it, which is basically asking my friend here for help. And it looks like he might know where the partner is. And in fact, he has pinged the other box. But where do I stand to see both of them? I think I need to probably go up here. Here, my friend has graciously offered me some help, and I'll express my gratitude with an emote. And as I go back to my own journey, you'll notice I walked straight through my friend. There's no collision between players, so other players can never get in your way. This is your journey, and all the unique puzzles in the game are accessible to you and you alone without another player ever being able to stop you from solving a puzzle. So that's it, that's the deep dive. But what I've shown you is just a tiny glimpse of what Islands of Insight has to offer. There are many more areas to explore and thousands upon thousands of puzzles to discover and solve. In today's fast-paced world, we hope Islands of Insight offers a sublime escape for those of you looking to unwind. We've built this world to have a lot of room to grow. There are countless opportunities for new puzzle types, new variations on existing types, new interactions, new areas and enclaves, even new biomes to explore. We can't wait to see where this journey will take us. If you want to discover more, you can play our demo for free during the Steam Next Fest from February 5th until 12th. So head on over to Steam and wishlist the game. Thanks for watching. We'll see you on the islands.